Okay, let's get this started. Let's start with the T-34-85M, which it's not a tank I see much anymore. Essentially, as a premium, it has decent armor for a medium tank, but it's not exactly anything like amazing or anything. But many premium tanks are like that. But I find it to be it's well rounded to where it is enjoyable to play because there's not many downsides to it. It just doesn't really have a very big positive side to it to really leverage in situations. But for a medium, I really enjoy playing it at times. Just some tanks being good at a little bit of everything just makes sense at times. Tonight I'm gonna, of course, play some tier 10s. I've been playing a little bit too many tier 10s, I think. But I'm gonna mix in some of my mid tiers as well. Okay, I have not played this map in a while, but it doesn't really look like it changed that much. It's kind of an interesting spot for a E25 to be heading. Yeah, they pretty much took over the center, so there's no way I'm gonna be able to get him out of there. I just kind of need to keep on standing around here. It's not really, since I'm not the highest tier, I can't really push anywhere by myself. I just need to hold steady, but at the same time, this is not looking good for our team here. Yeah, I have a feeling this is gonna go downhill pretty quickly. I'm probably gonna get shot leaving here. However, there's not much hope if I don't get back to the base. Okay, pretty low percentage shot there, but at this point I'm grasping for straws. Need to get up against this wall so I have some kind of cover. Looks like they recovered decently though. Maybe I didn't need to come over here. So far, though, I've done jack shit. Okay. It would have been nice if I tracked him there. Oops. Thank you, armor. Just trying to track him, so hopefully someone can track him. Or not track him, but hit him and already. But doesn't look like it happened. Which, excuse me if I cough or something, I'm a little under the weather still. I don't know if anyone watching has watched my World of Warships stream earlier, but I have a little bit of cold going. Okay, thanks a lot, Jagged Panzer. Or Jagged Tiger, whatever the hell you are. Like, thanks a whole lot. Yeah, that guy's got quite a bit of armor on him. I was kind of hoping that was the OI experimental. I know I can penetrate his upper plate, his driver's plate, essentially. Him, not so much. I'd have to get a little bit lucky. Definitely didn't help that I got shot in the back by that Jagged Tiger, but I did kind of pull out in front of him. I thought I could get lucky and finish him off with one more shot and continue pushing up. Oh shit. Am I gonna get lucky here? There we go. Is this AMX CDC? Shit. Nice shot. That kind of evened things out quite a bit. Ah shit, this ISU's down here. Ooh, nice job. So I got this FV to worry about. However, shit, I didn't want to switch over just yet. Oh crap. Do have to worry about that Hummel. Alright, this ISU's coming to help me. Or maybe he's not. Taking a little bit of a gamble here. But this FV probably ran away. There he is. Oh shit. That actually made me jump if you saw that. Oh my god. Well, that was embarrassing. I have headphones on, so that was pretty loud for me. Okay, so he's pushing up. I might as well pull back here. We still have 7 minutes, so better to be safe than sorry. Oh, nice shot. See if I can't spot them just on this ridge. You never know if someone's just kind of sitting back there. Still need to keep an eye out though, because I'm definitely able to be taken out in one decent hit. Okay, so didn't see anything there. Doesn't mean that they aren't close to me, but I figured I'd pop up there before I hop down here and try to... Oh shit, there's that Hummel. Got pretty lucky with hitting him, but I'm gonna wait for him. Oh, what the hell, dude? He said what happened? Oh, that already almost hit me when I jumped. Which I do have a 60-second delay, so it takes a second for me to respond and chat to you. Okay. He missed me. Let's see if I can get lucky here and just barely hit him. But if you have any specific tanks you want me to play, just or questions to ask, just say them in chat and I'll try to answer or get to the tanks the best I can. There we go. That was a pretty decent match. Better than I thought it was going to turn out in the beginning, but I was a little down on my team in the beginning, but you never want to give up. But overall, not much damage. I mainly just kind of supported the team where I could, and that ISU definitely saved the day in the end, but not too bad. Okay, so let's hop into something else here. Why don't we hop into M4 Fury? Alright, so Lakeville. That's probably one of my more comfortable maps. I don't always do well in it, but it's probably one of my favorite maps to play. It's just well balanced, basically mirrored on both sides to an extent. Someone asked how long I've been streaming for. If you're referring to now, I've only been streaming for about 11 minutes. 11 minutes and 44 seconds to be exact. However... yeah, they just tuned in. Something was loud on an arty shot fell next to me and it kind of made me jump a little bit. But I have headphones on, so it kind of amplifies the sound a little bit compared to what you guys hear. Lakeville, though. Looks like we have a couple people spotting in the center. I'm going to be heading to the town. I find the valley's fun at times, but usually it's not too practical. Unfortunately, I don't have an E50. I have some Russian mediums, Japanese mediums, French, and American. German tanks, I mainly just have the heavy tanks. Alright, so that guy's using that little spot there. He's probably still backing up. Unfortunately, though, our team is mainly sitting in the base. I don't want to push out too far just because everyone's sitting in the base. So I have to be a little careful here where I push and where I go. I might get lucky and...
We didn't even scratch them.
Nope, not lucky. I was just hoping to get lucky and getting a quick little shot on him to begin with. I was backing up just to make sure I'm safe. Pushed ahead right before that auto spot ended. Just so it kind of kept him in place for a couple seconds longer, hopefully. Now I can't hold the town by myself. I see that I have some allies heading my direction, but I don't want to sit in the town because I can't be supported very well if I'm in there. Although it looks like they kind of bunkered down here. Hell, if they're gonna bunker down, I'll definitely... Oh shit, there's an IS there. No! Oh crap. Holy crap, I got fucked there. I should have saw that coming, but oh well. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Not as bad as earlier today when I was playing The Sims and I ended up getting obliterated without doing absolutely nothing. Someone mentioned FV215B 183mm, so I'll hop into that. Hopefully I'll do good, or else I'm going to be losing quite a bit of credits. But just kind of showing you guys the tanks I have here. These are mainly low tiers. If you have any lower tiers, 7 or under, just mention them and I'll see if I can get to them. They're most of my primary tanks there. Alright, so Prokofka, however you pronounce it, close enough. Unfortunately, there's a Waffle Trager on the other team. I do not like facing off against those things, especially in this tank on a map where not much cover and a lot of little hills for me to contend with. Just kind of thinking, where do I want to go? I'll see where that object 140 heads in the E4, and then I'll base my decision off of that. There's no real good side for this thing on this map, so I'll just head to whatever side I think needs the help. But yeah, I can play the E100 as well. I'll hop into that next. Alright, so the E4 is heading to that side. There's also another tier 9 tank destroyer. So I'll kind of head over to here just because I know a lot of people... Yeah, I got killed pretty bad in that match. A lot of people think heading to one side's bad. However, to me, as long as if the enemy doesn't push hard on the side you're weak on, it's a good thing. You can overwhelm them. Does that always work? Not really. However, I like to be optimistic in the beginning of a match. I know a lot of people kind of sit here and just wait. I always try to head over because I'd rather fight from this side than try to come over the hill, especially with a tank with very poor gun depression like the FV. Okay, that Conqueror, that was a very expensive waste of a shell, but if I got him, that would have been a one shot, so I took that chance. Alright, so we have 2 people climbing the hill. I'm gonna do something incredibly stupid and push up here to the edge of the town. I know their bat chat isn't on the hill. That doesn't leave many tanks that they can have field on the hill that I'm too concerned about. Alright, so somebody sees me here. Oh, it's an E75. How lovely. And of course I get a pretty crappy shot on him. But yeah, the Hesh does wreck a Waffle Trager, but you don't always hit that Top Gun mantlet or the lower glacis correctly in it. I probably should swap over to AP. Yeah, spot the hill. Be nice if the guys sitting in the back train track crossing would come. Yeah, so I'm gonna move back a little bit further. Ooh, he got wrecked. So what the hell, let's push forward a little bit. Fairly sure that Lorraine bounced. Or wait, did he get destroyed? No, he's still alive. Hello again, Zach. Yeah, that Lorraine definitely bounced out of this area. Here he is. Hello, Mr. Lorraine. Holy shit, is he put? Holy crap, they're both pushing. I was not expecting them to push. Oh crap. That I was not planning on. Okay, let's hope this guy stands still, which... Never mind, he's dead. The problem with the FV, you have a very, very, very long aim time. And very, very poor accuracy. I'm going to lose quite a bit of credits here, even though we're most likely going to win. I'm not crossing there, I'm just keeping that guy lit up. Are you seriously trying to push in front of me? Granted, I just gave you some free damage right there. Alright, that IS-8 is pushing behind him. Hopefully that's not the Batchat already trying to hit me. Or the tier 10 Batchat already. Alright, we got this medium coming up here. Okay, never mind. Our team's doing decent, but at the same time, it would be nice if I had something to shoot. Yeah, let me waste this very high damage shell on him. But hey, kill's a kill. Who cares if I did so much damage to him? Kind of a waste, but that's the problem with this tank at times. You're pretty much a one-trick pony. Yes, it's great to have this high alpha gun, but you do pay for it enough to where maps like this and situations like this, it's a little bit hard to keep up with your team at times. There's a nice little arty there. Okay, I didn't kill him. I thought I might get lucky and my shell will travel low on that one. That didn't work. I figured he would penetrate me, but might as well try to angle a little bit in case he hit my upper glacis. I really hope, though, that my team can pull this out, because... Okay. I don't know why he's complaining. E4 armor sucks, but it can be good. Not to be a dick there, but just trying to help the guy. Because in my E4, nothing bounces off of me. Okay, so hopefully they can take this guy out pretty... Okay, never mind. It's taking a little bit longer than I would have thought. Alright, so I'll play the E100 next, since somebody suggested that. After that, I'll just pick a random tank, unless anybody else has a suggestion. Thank you, M103, for capping, and IS-8 pinging more doesn't help. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost, I'm guessing 40,000 credits there. Alright, so far, damage-wise, I did 600 damage. It's pretty terrible. I only lost 20,000. Did spot for a bit, so in the end, it wasn't all that bad. Alright, so next up, play the E100 here. Hopefully things go a little bit better. Earlier on in the day, that World of Warships live stream, things started off pretty bad, but got alright towards the end. Definitely hasn't been my best day. Alright, so Mountain Pass. Just kind of looking at the enemy team here. I mainly guess in tier 10 games I look for tier 10 tank destroyers and see what they have, since it's the main firepower on a team at tier 10, and just gotta worry about that Jagdpanzer mainly. The FV 183, not too worried about his Hess shell. I just really need to protect my lower glacis so he can't pen me. But once you get him to use your AP, because a lot of your side armor and such is strong enough to resist the Hess, I treat it as a normal TD in that case. But I'm going to head down to the south. I find that most tanks, especially on enemy team from that side, head to the southern part of the map in the J line. So usually in a tank like the E100, I like to take the brunt of the force for my team, and thus so I will put myself down there where I think most of the enemies will be. Not that they're always down there, but I usually try to play the odds. Okay, I almost hit him. Now, we'll see if we get one more person coming along here. Alright, so we got an IS-7 here. Oh shit, our mediums are gonna crash into that. Which, I forgot that they kinda made a little divot there. But I might get lucky here. Nope. That looked like it went a little bit high. But I've had times, especially in FV215B 183, where I've chucked the Hess shell across there at a group of tanks and one-shotting one of them. And the first shot is glorious. I feel kind of bad, but usually you get lucky, and all it costs is one shell, so doesn't hurt to try. In that case, though, I was not lucky there. I missed that IS-7 by a little bit. But looks like our north should do fairly well. I don't know why they're pinging there, because they have a clear advantage. Now there's no artillery, so I'm actually going to push up a little bit further because this corner is safe by um, my standards. It's not safe, but it's okay. Not safe because of that, but it's safe enough for me. And of course I miss him. Alright, so that's 2 shots I missed with that at long range. Okay, this E5, I don't want to get too... I don't want to get behind you, but at the same time... Hopefully somebody can stop that. Whatchamajig. Okay, someone finish off that IS-7 for me. But it'd be nice if they could kind of silence that AMX CDC. Alright, good. We have an E4 coming around, so I'll push with him. There we go. Definitely lost some money on the heat shell, but all I care about is winning, so... At Bat Chat, most likely is gone. But just in case, I'm gonna head this way, so at least I'll be able to help if they push across the bridge there. Okay, Bat Chat, where are you heading? You're heading over there. Shit, there's a rock there. Sorry, little light tank. This is not your match. Okay, I was just letting him... Okay, there we go. Would you please let me go down here? I'm gonna hit my brakes once I come down. Take no damage. Oh, fantastic. I was not expecting to bounce there, but... Or for it to soak into something, but... Heat isn't exactly the most reliable thing. I probably should have swapped over to HE or AP when I knew I was going to shoot him next. But with the E100, I basically, like in the beginning of the match, I put myself in a position where I know the enemy's going to be. And basically from there you slug it out. You either hunker down and try to hold the flank, or you just kind of bite the bullet and you start pushing into them. Okay, I'm not going to get any shots unless I kind of hop out here real quick. And that's some space armor there. But yeah, heat, since the E100 has to rely upon it, it's really hit or miss. Wasn't hit or miss there, but would be nice if the AP had a little bit more penetration on it, but E100 is definitely a great tank. So overall, not a bad match here. Not a lot of damage, but finished off 3 enemies. Experience-wise, middle of the team. Soaked up a little bit, lost a ton of credits because I fired a ton of heat and didn't do a lot of damage. So, definitely a negative there. Whoops, just meant to invite Dark. Not that I don't like you, Dunmore. Alright, so we'll play a tier 6 next. I already played that as a tier 6. I won't bore you with the TOG yet. I don't know. Which somebody mentioned T110E3. I'll get up to that after this battle. Let's see. Do I have any other? I have the Sherman. So I haven't played this in a while, but I do use... Oops. Yes, I have my mic tied to O. I do use the 76mm on the M4. I find the 105 to be not too reliable if you're facing higher tiers. And 76, yeah, it can't penetrate a lot of things that you face, especially tier 7 and sometimes 8 tanks, but overall I find it to be a little bit more reliable and definitely cheaper to operate. Sherman Jumbo though, probably one of my favorite tanks in the mid tiers. Not favorite overall, but the blend of having good frontal armor with the very reliable 70, pretty sure it's 76mm, I hope it is, definitely plays well to an aggressive playstyle like I try to play at times. Does get you into trouble because you can often run into being kind of torn apart from the flank, but it's kind of the risk you have to take at times. But if you're a top tank and there's not many tier 6s, you're essentially a heavy tank in pretty much every way except for your side and rear armor. I do use the upgraded turret. Yes, it does reduce your armor considerably, but it gives you much needed view range that I find view range to be much more important than armor in almost every sense, because if you can't see somebody and they're shooting at you, or if you're driving along and you don't know that half the team can see you, then no amount of armor is going to save you. So I find that to be well worth sacrificing a lot of armor on the turret to gain view range, and also a better top gun. Plus, since most people expect Sherman Jumbos to run the stock turret, oftentimes they won't shoot you, and many people can't spot the difference between the stock turret and the upgraded turret, since visually they're very similar. There's a few differences to them, but most people won't spot the difference right away. I thought I might have had a shot on that M6. I really hope I don't push up here and they just end up plowing into them. Hello, T-29. Maybe not. I'll focus on this T-20, if I can actually hit him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Okay, just barely have a shot on him. Okay, I don't have a shot on anybody.
Enemy armor is hit.
Hi, Chaffee.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Okay, that guy does not have good reflexes.
Enemy is hit. We've lost a track.
Ooh, thank you, M12. I kind of wasted that repair kit then. I thought that T-29 was going to shoot me, so would have been well worth repairing with him shooting at me. With this E-25 kind of sitting there, I'm going to wait for Dark Wolf to pull out. Push him back a little bit. And then we should... Oops, I don't want to block my buddy here. Okay, we have a Tiger 1 in the ditch. Hello, Mr. Tiger 1.
Penetration.
Okay, that Churchill's going after him. I'm just gonna stay up here
Armor is damaged.
and hope that he doesn't focus on me.
Enemy armor is hit. Penetration.
But let's just
Enemy is hit.
play it safe. Okay, so C-25 is gonna be heading my way.
Damage. We can barely turn it. We didn't penetrate
Oh
their
shit,
armor.
now I can't see him.
Optics destroyed.
Bail out. Upgraded turret does not help you when you cannot see.
Still fragile. We're immobilized.
Okay, I really hope he can't hit me. Maybe he can, but that works. Thank you again, M12. You saved me twice this game from taking damage. Alright, so we have a pretty decent lead here. We should stick somebody on the cap. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. You just always want to be safe at times. I'll set myself in a position where I most likely can get a few shots on them from here. But definitely don't want to get into a position where we fall behind, just because they still have that IS. But I'll take some shots from this range. Granted, this gun, while it's accurate, more accurate than 105, it's still not the easiest gun to use at long range.
Enemy armor is hit.
Helps when they're not really moving though like that.
Enemy armor is damaged.
When in doubt, just keep throwing shells at them. Okay, now we're... Now we're actually a little bit behind here. They're gonna be coming my way. Hello, Firefly. Now this is where the upgraded turret would be pretty awesome. Now, just trying to keep him spotted. Hello, Mr. IS.
Enemy is hit.
Hello, Firefly.
Gotcha.
Be nice if Artie could give me a helping. Thank you, M12. You have saved me 3 times this match. Now we know this Nashorn's over there. I'm actually... He thinks I'm here. Pulling back's a little bit of a gamble, but I'm going to try it. Just because if he comes barreling in there, he can definitely kill me in a hurry. See something, hear something shooting at me. Ah, shit.
This vehicle has had it.
I could hear him shooting at me, but I thought he was over there. That was pretty embarrassing again. The hell is he, like, I just died. Like, he's not behind me. You just came from that direction. But yeah, I probably should have pulled back a little bit. I knew that he could penetrate my armor, but... oh well. Oh shit, he's going after the Artie. Oh crap. Ooh, nice! M12 is definitely the MVP of this fight. So again, a pretty mediocre match in my opinion. I could have did a lot better. M12 SU-122 definitely did a great job. I spotted a bit, did a bit of damage, made a little bit of credits, but overall, win's a win. Alright, so why don't we... Somebody mentioned the KV2. Oh shit, I forgot it was this way. Let's hop into the KV2. So at KV2, I pretty much just chuck HE out of this thing. Alright, so after the KV2, I'll get to the T110E3. Don't want to be using AP, which I don't carry any standard AP here. I just carry premium ammunition for AP, but I pretty much only use HE in this thing. I use AP from time to time, depending on which tank I'm facing, but KV2, you're pretty much playing this thing to chuck HE out, which this match kind of sucks. Tier 6 and almost all tier 8s here, but couldn't have picked a better tank to be facing against tier 8s, 2 tiers higher than me. This thing's pretty much immune to what it can face and do damage to. I remember back when I first started playing World of Tanks when you'd be in a KV1 with this thing facing, when it was tier 5, facing off against much higher tiers, and people would actually focus on you first with how dangerous your gun was. Granted, it's been changed a lot since then, but I think the mentality of focus on the KV2 first still holds true today. If I knew that Cromwell was going to actually make it across, I probably would have stuck down there. When I saw him pushing across, I didn't expect him to actually live. Crap. I kind of popped up to see if I was spotted, and I was going to pop back down, but when no one shot me, I thought I was safe, but that certainly is not the case. Don't want to push up on the hill because I don't want to trek all the way up there. Just for nothing. Most of the enemies probably froze when that Cromwell made it across anyway. Alright, there's somebody I can get to. I just need to make it across this little gap here. There we go. Oh shit. I think they should see me. My nice little slow shell coming in there. Okay, so obviously that Scorpion, I believe, is over on this side. I'm gonna take a wild guess. I don't think that E20, excuse me, I need to cough. Don't think that E25's over here, but yeah, that Scorpion is definitely somewhere in a bush and is spotting me. And they are just kind of waiting for me. So not much I can do until that gets cleared up. However, there are still a few heavy tanks over here, so I'll check a shell here, see if I get lucky. But with these guys pushing here, I might have an opening to get a shot off. Never mind, somebody killed that Cromwell. Let's take a little bit of a gamble and push across this opening here. Haven't really done anything this match except for being somebody's pinata. Poor T28, poor KV2. Definitely somebody sitting in that marsh now. I have no idea who else could have shot me from there. There he is. I was about to say, it's gotta be that little bugger. Thank you, OI. But yeah, the low view range on this thing definitely limits what you can do on your own. But we'll see what I can do here with 22 HP. Just gonna kind of hang back and hope that they forget about me. Because that Scorpion was hawking me the entire match. I have 22 HP. Sorry. Okay, maybe I'll get lucky and just have a sliver of hope here. Oh, no luck. But I will push up with this Proto. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, maybe he can't see me. I do have a shot on this Tiger too, though. Yay, I hit something! It only took me how many minutes of the match to hit something, but I finally did. I can't get too lackadaisical here, because I can definitely still be taken out with this 22 HP. Okay, I cannot hit that Firefly because he's kind of just sitting there. This guy is Gonna take off that way. Ooh, there we go. I actually hit somebody else. 2 hits. Everybody saw that. I got 2 hits in a KV-2. Let's see if I can... Oh, crap. Nobody sees him now. I was gonna try to pull off this snipe of the decade. Let's see if this works. Stay right there. No, don't move. Oh yeah, look at that. Set him on fire. And that is why the KV-2 is feared. It only takes over half the match, but eventually you will get that one shot that makes it all worthwhile. I'm on a roll now. I think I got 3 hits in a row. Okay, let's see how this one goes. Definitely gonna aim center mass. I'll take that. Doubt I'm gonna get another shot at this, but I might get lucky. It's getting there, it's getting there. Here we go. 2 kills. So that turned from a very bad match to looking like I know what I'm doing. So, in the end, not a bad game here. Somehow I did the most damage on my team. But yeah, somehow I did the most damage on my team. So, in the end, it all worked out. So, hopping into the T110E3 here. Alright, so a lot of waffle traggers tonight, it seems like. That is probably the first AMX 50 Foch 155 I have seen since I started playing again these past couple weeks. Haven't seen many of them, and I don't blame them. That tank definitely didn't fit for me when I was playing it. Alright, so for the E3, probably one of my favorite tanks. Very good frontal armor, lack of a turret, but great gun. Mobility, just passable, but I try to play this thing pretty aggressively. This map's a little bit difficult, only because basically heavier tanks, tank destroyers, try to stick to the outsides, and you have a lot of mediums and lights, and some faster heavies in the middle with good gun depression. It just makes pushing down the sides pretty difficult for the E3 because it's not very good at being flanked. Once you're flanked, if you don't have support, you're pretty screwed. But I'm going to head over to this side primarily because I knew most of the team was going to head over that side just by where they spawned. But without any arty, I should be semi-safe with how or where I'm heading. I just want to sit back a little bit right about here. There's a little wall and a little divot here where you're much lower, and you can pretty much shoot anything down the lane here. I'm just going to bump this wall out along with this tree. Sorry, M103. I'm going to bump back, and pretty much no enemies can push down on you. The only way that you can get damaged in this spot without artillery is from the center. But at this point, we have a pretty good group of people there. This M103, hopefully he's getting a little bit too careless there. I don't know what he was thinking. Now you can't spot down the lane. That's one little negative. But hopefully my team doesn't keep popping out around corners. That's not going to bode well for them. I was kind of hoping, since we're on this side and the enemy seemed like they had a decent group, they were just going to push down here, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen now. I'm going to give it about 20-30 seconds before I start moving out of this little spot. Yep. Oh shit, just as I was about to move. I should... I thought I tracked them there. Oh well. I doubt he's gonna pop out from around this corner now. They do have those tank destroyers though. It's T-32. Yep, you are gonna pop out, but unfortunately I hit the wall. I'm just popping out a little bit further so I can shoot the C-75 here. Although it's Type 4 heavy. Just trying to hit his track right here so I could go through his side armor. Hopefully I start landing shots, or else they're gonna push faster than I can fire here. Yeah, when in doubt on this side, you can jump into the water. Not that I do that because it's more expensive to do that, but I've seen plenty of people do that. Alright, is anybody else going to come this way? Thank you, T-32. I think he's tracked. I don't know if I'll actually get the next shot off on him, but we'll see. There we go. But this little spot here, you still can be shot in the lower glacis. Don't get me wrong, you're not immune here. It only applies in matches with no arty. I really hope my team can deal with a IS-8 sitting out there, especially when they have an E-75, 2 other tanks. But with that Waffle Trager now moving, I guess I will hop over here. Of course that tank is now moving. I don't have a shot on him. Oh shit. Okay, I'm not going to use my repair kit just yet. Let's hope he does not have a repair skill on him, or else he's a goner.
Enemy armor is destroyed. Truck hit.
Hello, T-32. Better hope you get back further, faster, because I guess you're not gonna die there. Okay, he just fell into the water. Thank you very much. Oh, I love it when people do that.
Truck fixed. Let's roll.
He's a goner. However, there's quite a few people up here now, and I'm not alone, but I'm gonna be outnumbered here if I don't get some help. Ah, shit.
One of our trucks is damaged.
Of course I had a shot on him, and I kind of fucked that up. Okay, I do have a sliver of hope. shit.
Enemy armor is hit.
I'd much rather get shot by E100 than a... Or, I mean T-32 than an E100. Thank you for killing that leopard. Got that T-32 out. Just gonna angle a little bit here. Just need to protect that lower plate and I'm fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, I see him coming.
Penetration.
Alright, he's gonna try to... thank you for tracking him. Although that definitely hurt.
Everyone get out.
In my head I thought I was gonna pull that off. I definitely should have started pulling back. As far as World of Tanks Blitz, I don't really have any interest in playing that. I do have a decent phone where I could play it, but I don't exactly play too many games on my phone. But I'm mainly going to stick with PC games. For some reason I like playing on the computer. I used to play a lot on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, but PC is a nice medium, I believe. But this definitely turned from us having a bit of an advantage to now us most likely losing. But I won't exactly count out both of these guys. This IS-4, I don't know what he's doing, but he still has a chance to win. I don't know about ramming the E-75, but it might... Nope. I was about to say, it might do a little bit of damage to him. It's all up to you. Slow down. Yeah, you're screwed now. Yeah, maybe you're not screwed. Oh, God. Of all things to get damaged, it had to be his gun. I probably would not push here, but he's the one alive. Mainly because you're pushing right into two enemies. And you're leaving yourself open to be flanked. Overall, pretty decent match. Got high caliber. 5,825 damage. Blocked a little bit, but at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. Alright, so IS-4, someone mentioned that. I'll hop into that. The IS-4... as far as the IS-4, it's a curious tank at tier 10. I know it's not exactly new. A lot of the games I've played in it is when it was screwing up here, when it was a tier 9 tank, and it was definitely overpowered as a tier 9. But currently at tier 10, it's a jack of all trades tank in my opinion, but unlike the E5, which I think the E5's armor scheme is better, it doesn't exactly have any strong suit to kind of fall back on. The E5 at least has pretty good frontal armor and the mobility to get that frontal armor into the battle. The IS-4, yes, it can angle, but its armor, it's not good at fighting against other tier 10s in my opinion, because everyone's just going to punch right through your armor. It's good at bullying tier 9 and under tanks that aren't throwing premium rounds, but in the end of the day, it's a good tank, but at the same time, I think that there's better ones out there at tier 10, mainly because tanks that specialize in something, or jack of all trades tanks that have a very good aspect to them, like the E5's frontal armor now, perform much better. Because someone asked if a Tortoise and T95 who would win, I would probably pick the Tortoise. A lot more firepower, and I like playing the the T95, but while its armor is excellent frontally and even on the sides, those top hatches Tortoise would be able to pick off even at long range. Alright, so airfield, there are no SPGs in this match, or there is no whatever. So I'm gonna be heading a little bit north here. I'm not gonna worry too much about fighting it out in the center there. For whatever reason, I am trying to speak in past tense a lot. I wonder why. No longer am I dying very early on in the matches here, so I should give myself a little bit more credit. And watch, just as I round this corner, I'm going to be completely destroyed. I think I could bounce a shot from IS-3. Tiger 2 can't. Maybe I should have stuck out there for him, but okay, Roomba, are you gonna pop out here and try to get me? No, but this Tiger 2 unfortunately died, but one person's mistake is my reward. It's not perfect, but it should. Just gonna angle here a little bit. Who do I want to shoot me? I don't want him to shoot me. Okay. I think I might have to abandon this spot very soon. A little bit of a gamble going over here, but I'll definitely try it. Now that I'm here, I'm stuck here, so I hope it was well worth it. Oh shit. It's not well worth it. I'm gonna die. Oh god. That worked out so much better in my head. But I was not expecting that E100 to push up, but oh well. I probably should have saw that coming, but I'm used to people not really pushing up and taking advantage of that. My goal was at least to push up here, and then I would have had support to where those guys would have covered my right, and I would have been able to focus on the IS-3s, but yeah, in the end of the day, everything collapsed after that. Blame that on me. Alright, so speaking of the Tortoise, I can give that a shot. Actually, I haven't played that tank in a while. Okay, I don't know why I just took my guy out of the 183, but I did. But yeah, the Tortoise, it's really hit or miss tank. Armor-wise, it looks like it's a lot better than it is. I don't rely on the armor at all. I pretty much expect to be penetrated every time. But the amount of firepower on this thing and the gun is awesome. Is definitely a tank where basically you're a tier 10 tank destroyer at tier 9, but unfortunately you're very large, and with that large size you get focused down very quickly, and you're pretty slow on top of that. Alright, so overall we did pretty well, but a loss is a loss. That E100 definitely outmaneuvered me. Wish my chat stopped getting activated there. I know you guys like seeing me say "oh" all the time, but it's getting a little annoying. Alright, so not exactly the best map for me. Primarily because, like, I could go out here and snipe, but I don't snipe. I think it's a very situational thing and mostly useless in probably 8 out of 10 scenarios in a match. So I'm going to be trying to get a little closer up to use my DPM. Don't think it's going to really work as well as I think it will, but I'm not going to sit in the field and get spotted, torn apart, or shot by SPGs and get nothing done. I'd rather take the fight to the enemy and hopefully scare them with my gun. This doesn't have high alpha, but you have enough DPM to sometimes scare people off from pushing on you. This side, if you kind of see my heading here, I'm going to be heading right through that gap, and then I'm going to be taking a right, heading up here, and hopefully turning left into, what is that there, E6, the bottom of E6. Now, heading from the south here, this corner here in F6, the top right, it's actually set back a little bit to the left compared to the one in E6. So it's safer to head from this side into that road than it is from the north. And that kind of leads you, or it leaves it open for slower tanks like this that actually push into the town. Whereas if you're in the north, you wouldn't really want to do that from this side. You'd much rather go from the other side, but that's not exactly protected from either side. Now this doesn't always work, but I'm still going to give it a shot here. I don't have anybody to really scout this corner ahead for me. So I'm just going to... Okay, this ISU 152 might be heading my way. Okay. I'm kind of committed now. Kind of expecting him to push into me, but never really sure what people are gonna do in this game. See if I can see somebody through the little hole here. Yep, I can see him. Yeah, there we go. You gonna use your repair kit, or are you just gonna sit there for me? I'd very much like you to sit there for me. That M46 Patton should have a easy time finishing him off. I'm gonna wait for this T69 to make a mistake.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Don't want to face that T95 head on right now. He's not that useful to his team sitting back there. He should be pushing up like I am and actually using his gun in a attacking situation instead of a reactionary situation. KV-5 is doused in gasoline, so not too surprised I set him on fire. But as you see, they outnumber me here. They could very easily push on me and kill me right now. However, people are afraid of this tank for a very good reason, but at the same time, right now they do have a slight upper hand on me. I don't think this route here is going to be safe, but I'd much rather push this way than the other way right now. Granted, looking back, it probably wasn't a good decision. Yeah, I don't think you want to sit in front of a tortoise. Okay. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me. Just gonna push up a little bit here. Track back. Sure. Thank you very much, S51. Is he gonna... Oh shit. T-54, no! Don't shoot me. Just made it out of there. Whew, that was a little closer than I would like. But Tortoise is a little bit faster than the T-95, so comes in handy sometimes. Aw, I was just about to click too. But Tortoise's armor, while it's listed good, not so great. Its armor comes in with its HP. Actually has more than the 183mm, unless they changed it. I don't think they did though. I would say pretty successful match for us. 6 kills between the two of us. Alright, so not too bad. High caliber, 4,576 damage, and spot a little bit as well. Alright, so why don't we... let's see, what tank do I want to play? I have no idea. Why don't we try the WZ-120? Still slowly grinding this thing out to reach tier 10, and it's going pretty slow. This tank, unfortunately, I would honestly say this is the worst tier 9 grind. Let's see, just from a standpoint where you have to unlock so many guns and so much experience before getting to the 121. It's just such a long grind and not worth it unless you have free experience and the credits to kind of pass over being a stock tank. But once upgraded like this, very similar to the T-54. However, you have a higher alpha strike, but much worse gun depression. I do believe that they are going to change it next patch and buff it a little bit. I think by like a half a degree or maybe 1 degree of gun depression. So essentially it goes from -2 to -1. But I'm just kidding there. I think it's like 3 degrees of gun depression on this thing. And they're planning on buffing it to like 3.5 potentially. Or maybe they're just doing that to the tier 10. I don't know. kind of taking a peek at what's this gonna turn out as.
开始行动。
Okay. Ooh, Lord. FPS is a little bit lower. Now, there we go. Pop back up. Probably have a few games after this left in me. Doesn't help that I get up to work or I go to work at 5 a.m. and get up at 4 a.m. Makes things a little bit difficult at times. Alright, so I cannot point up at that T-30. There we go. I was about to say, a little bit embarrassing that I cannot point up that far enough. Or far enough up to hit him. I'll take one more crack at him in case he moves back here. Which I guess saw another tree fall, so there is somebody else in the middle there. Alright, I don't know if that was a tree falling or something else. Let's go and take a peek here. Okay. WZ-111. KV-3. Another WZ. And a Lorraine. Okie dokie.
方向被击穿。
We also have this T-30 to contend with. Let's see if I can...
我们重炮目标。
of course he has 39 HP left.
你们敌人狠狠一击。
I see you there, Lorraine. No. No gun depression. Our team's not doing too well. Holy shit, I bounced off of him. But now that my friend is dead, I am going to bounce out of here. Yeah, this is plan retreat. Sorry AMX 5120, but I plan on moving back a little bit. Okay, maybe I should have kept going there. Okay, I did not want him to spot me. Kind of defeated my little ambush I had there. But at this point, no, I don't have 6 cents on this, unfortunately. At this point, I'm just trying to eke out a little bit more damage. Damn dead.
我们任务失败，撤吧。
Yeah, that didn't exactly work out for us. We're outnumbered in the town and somehow outnumbered everywhere else. I hate when that happens. It's very difficult to come back from that. But this tank, as you see, it's very uncomfortable. The lack of gun depression, it's unbearable at times, even in gun elevation. I couldn't even aim up at that T-30. It's not exactly the most flexible tank. Okay, so tier 6. Let's see what we can do for tier 6. He's in something a little quicker. Maybe I'll play the T-37. Now T-37, I don't use the autoloader, I believe. Unless something I forget. Which... Whoopsies. Tier 9 battle. Okay, we can handle this. Kind of forgot that this was a little bit higher tier. But in this tank, I don't use the autoloader just because I find you have to sit out a little longer to actually output damage, and it just doesn't work out. I use the... Yeah, that completely flew over my head. But yeah, this game mode plus tier 9, I feel bad for you. But T-37, I find it to be a light medium instead of a light tank. They're a little bit of a difference. You can have 3 viable options with the loadout on this. You can go autoloader, but you're really slow for a light tank. You can go semi-stock and be very quick, but you also sacrifice firepower and view range. Or you can go a little bit at middle ground for me, where you're decent at everything, but not strong in any one area that you would expect a light tank. It's kind of trying a spot here. Low AMX 1390. He's still sitting there. Granted, I can't hit him, so not like it matters that much. Okay. Is he gonna move, or is he just gonna continue to sit there for me? Hello, Mr. Bulldog. Okay. I'm not doing very good at aim in this match. Let's say, where the hell is that little tank? Couldn't see his silhouette. Alright, this IS-8's starting to make a little push here. He's starting to turn his turret, so I'll dive in here. See if I can't finish him off. Yay, I killed him. Well, Mr. T-25. I only did 3 damage to him, I think.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Or it's called, I guess, wait until he had 3 HP left and I shot him. Why need gold when you can just let other people do your work? Okay, I'll give him credit. I did not expect them to push this hard through there. This is royally gonna screw us up
Enemy
though.
armor is hit.
Okay.
Enemy is hit. They killed our driver. We're covering his position.
Yeah, I'm not even
very
gonna...
well.
Okay, I was just about to head forward.
This vehicle has had it.
Well, hopefully our team can recover, but I have the feeling that they'll do alright. Right, so definitely, I expected that one. Defeat there. There was no way we were coming back from that one, Lakeville. Okay, so overall, nothing too stellar. Enemy team definitely just kind of got ahead quick, and after that, it was it. So someone mentioned 15B. Don't exactly know which one. I already played the 183, so I'll hop into the heavy tank. After this, I'll probably play one more match after this. If anybody has a tank they want me to play, I'll try to get to it. But after today, I don't know when I'm going to stream next. Definitely sometime on the weekend. Probably maybe Friday night, Saturday night. But next week, I'm going to try to get a semi-set schedule and post it on my website, YouTube, Facebook for Wakuru Men's Gaming. I should be able to have a set schedule going forward after this weekend here. But you'll be able to, if you're a subscriber here on YouTube, follow all my live streaming schedules on here. They'll be under live events. I'll be able to create them ahead of time. I've just been kind of popping on quick for live streaming. I haven't been making live events beforehand. And the guy mentioned the 183. Whoops, I picked the heavy tank. Alright though. Let's see, they have 3 beefy TDs. I don't know which way I want to go.
Time to roll out.
Yeah, I was about to say, if I was in the E5, I probably would have pushed south from where I spawned. I knew I could get over there in time before taking damage, but one of the problems with the 215B heavy, which I know it's getting replaced with the Chieftain eventually, but has a very low top speed, so it's very difficult for you to actually push somewhere fast, even if you're going down a hill, because you're capped at a low top speed. And although the gun's more comfortable than the E5, you have more firepower, accuracy, and HP, your armor's a lot worse, so it's really a trade-off. Do I think it's worth it? I'd much rather have an E5, but I could see where some people would prefer the 215B over the E5, but in most situations the E5 is the better tank. Hello, Mr. IS-7. I'm gonna try to track you. Now, I have already aiming at me here. Oops, need to get back before I get blasted away. Sorry, trying to get it out of your way. I just could feel SPGs staring at me. Alright, is nobody gonna... Okay, thank you. Don't really have gun depression, but I can sit here and miss his track. I'm just gonna push here, pull back. Okay, maybe there are no SPGs sitting here. Just kind of waiting to see. Hey, if someone will come up here with me. Thank you, T62A. Alright, so there's a WZ-132 in our base. So that should draw the attention of at least one SPG. So I'm just going to say the hell with it and push right around this corner and hopefully not get one-shot it. But we're going to need to make a push here. Okay, I did not expect to get hit by Artie here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whew, thank God. Yep, we're being flanked from behind. That's why I started to push forward in a hurry. And of course I missed. Hello, Mr. 50B. You don't want to kill me.
Everyone, get out.
Thought I would have got lucky there, but unfortunately he was higher up than me. He could just shoot right down and penetrate me. Yeah, it's always worth it to keep an eye on the map. I saw that we were going to get flanked pretty quickly. A lot of times your team will just sit there and you're pretty screwed. At least this gives us a pretty good chance to win. But even though the 215B isn't exactly a tank you would expect to push directly at an E100 and 183mm, it's got a decent amount of HP, and sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to survive, or survive a little bit longer. But had we sat there, we would have just been massacred. Alright, so somebody suggested the 183, so I'll pull that out for the last match here. Yay, I got 1 gold. So, not too bad of a match there. He did pretty well, 3,200 damage. I did just under 2,000. Spotted for a little over 1,600. Still eked out a little bit of profit, and I got 1 piece of gold. So, good there. Alright, so let's get the crew back into this. Hopefully this match I get to shoot more things than the last one. That was a little disappointing. Yeah, we won, but didn't really feel like a 183 game. Granted, take KV2 match, sniping that Panther M10 definitely felt good. Alright, so Highway, not exactly my favorite for this. I prefer kind of corridor maps for the FV215B, 183. But this being a wide open map, pretty much wants me to go down the 0 line. So I'm going to stick down there. They have a 216 already, so he can pretty much zone on me pretty easily and take me out in 2 shots. So I'm not going to sit out in the open. But I can't function anywhere
Let's go.
outside of the town well, just because of the gun depression on this thing. All the little hills. Once I leave the base here, but yeah, basically anywhere outside of this being elevated over the enemy, I won't be able to fight effectively. So I'm just gonna stick to the town. Alright, so hopefully I meet something down here in the town. Okay, so that IS-6, or IS-7's kind of detached himself from his team. I'm gonna see if I can get in here and help. Hopefully this T-57 doesn't clog up. I don't know what he's doing. He's clogging up that entrance. I would like to get in here and help. Let me in. Come on, dude. I know the 121 is doing well, but you never know. Would like to... Okay. Give you your shot.
Enemy hit.
Not exactly a great hit on that WZ-120, but it'll at least get him to back off and allow me to reload, hopefully. Yeah, pick on me while I can't reload. Or I'm not loaded. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for you now. You sure you want to do that? Okay, we got that T-34 here. Ooh. Don't think I would have did that if I was him. Definitely take that shot though. Just gonna kind of wait here. And Foch is gonna come in and hopefully save me. Hey, this is pretty much a massacre. I feel very inadequate right now. Alright, so T-57's on the other side. Hopefully he comes my way so I have a shot on him. I think I'll just wait for him here. Oh shit. It's gonna move up a little bit. See if anything happens here. Come on, you know you want to come on this side. There we go. Yeah, I should have stayed up there. I actually don't have any shots into their base now because I'm so low. And go figure, the Waffle Trigger, full HP, sitting in the back of his base. Like, that's no help to your team. Like, if he was up in the town, would have been a different story. He might have been able to take us out when we engaged that East, or not E75, the IS-7. Where are you? Hello. Goodbye.
Enemy armor destroyed.
Yeah, the Japanese heavies are definitely pretty big tanks. So pretty decent match. Definitely better than my previous 183 match. So I'll take it. Made a little bit of credits there too. I'll take that too. But yeah, anyway, that was my last game for tonight. So thanks for watching, guys. Next time I stream, like I said, I don't exactly have a set time when I'm going to stream next before next week. I'm thinking Friday night, maybe Saturday night. I'm going to be doing World of Warships next since I did World of Tanks tonight. But starting next week, I should have a schedule up of when I plan on streaming. I plan on streaming 3-4 nights a week or day. It depends on what I figure out works for me. So stay tuned, and I plan on just doing World of Tanks and World of Warships right now. I might mix in some other games here or there every now and then, depending on if people want me to play something like Armored Warfare or War Thunder, or even like I was trying out the Star Wars Battlefront beta. That kind of interests me too. Who doesn't love Star Wars? But anyway, thanks for watching tonight, and I am glad I was able to write the ship because it started off a little dicey there. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys around. And keep an eye out on WattGuru.com and Men's Gaming for when I'll be streaming starting next week on a more regular basis.